Welcome to the Resilient Gentleman Podcast with your hosts, Douglas Berger and Christopher Payton. This show is all about forging unbreakable men on a path to greatness. Welcome to the show.
Welcome back to another special episode of the Resilient Gentleman.
Very special.
Douglas Berger here with Transworld Business Advisors. My man, my superhero man, Chris Payton. And look who our lovely guests are today.
We have special guests, Sabrina and Wanda, the ones who make us resilient.
Help us become resilient. Actually, the true question is, how resilient have they been dealing with us?
Yeah, that is more than likely the story is, and I probably feel like I'm rude because I gotta sit in my microphone and turn and look at you. But so we started this podcast. Douglas asked me to start this podcast with him 12-ish weeks ago or so. And it was with the idea of kind of call it supporting men, giving back, having a area or platform to kind of share our experiences and what we've grown in. And, you know, we're 22 years in November married. Y'all are...
We are 16 years married in September, 18 years together.
So, I mean, a lot of our lives are formed and assembled. Our resiliency has been built by and through y'all. And so I think it's very important that we bring you on. Maybe it's further down the road than even we thought about originally, was that we would have y'all on the show and kind of talk through.
Oh, I knew we'd have them on eventually, sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought was sooner was going to happen. But nonetheless, we talked about in our prior episode, and I think it's an interesting topic for the two of you, and no pressure for response. But we talked about pressure. Pressure is a good thing because when used effectively, it can produce good results. How do y'all deal with pressure? Do you experience pressure? And where do you find it most?
And feel free to be honest.
Yeah.
Pressure from you guys? Pressure
Sure.
in general?
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah. You know, I think I've dealt with times of pressure in my life, but I think that, you know, there's times when you don't feel it a lot and times when it kind of piles on. Like, you know, 2025 was a huge year of pressure for me, I feel like, you know, because it was a really exciting time for both of us because you were starting a business. But there were also a lot of just weird, unexpected things that happened too in our life and my life. My mom was diagnosed with cancer. Our daughter was getting her license, and so it was like, let's take our beautiful little precious 16-year-old and throw her out into Murfreesboro traffic. So it was just, you know, I felt a lot of pressure coming from a lot of places. So.
Did you have some pressure from Chris when he started his business?
No, he didn't necessarily put pressure
on me. Indirectly,
because I think we sort of learned that when he was starting everything that I could be a support to the business in different ways. So that kind of put different needs on me. And, you know, like we were talking about before, like he's, you know, we had to do a lot of networking, but he kind of discovered that, you know, I like people. I like talking to people and meeting people. And
I like people.
So he likes people.
Sound like
No, that's not what I meant. But like, I love meeting new people and just chit-chatting and, you know, that was, you know, something I thought was fun.
Yeah.
A part of the business. So I started doing a lot of that at first. But then when all of the other outside pressures of my personal life started piling on, I was like, I don't have as much of that in me. So it was just sort of a roller coaster of figuring out how I
Yeah, and
could
managing
keep
all that.
being supportive,
Yep.
but also just sort of at that time I was really like protecting my my emotions and my peace because there was so much going on in my family.
Wanda, have you ever felt any pressure from all these different adventures I've started since we've been together?
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
First of all, when I met him, his kids, his ex-wife, all this kind of
Pressure.
pressure. And then me having my family far away from me, I didn't have any family
Right.
support when I was in my country. So yeah, it was hard. And then of course my mom passed, and that's a blessing for us.
Right when
met
we
him.
first met. Go ahead.
Well, so you were just saying how the kids were
Yeah.
a lot of pressure from
Traveling back and forth to Puerto
Yeah.
Rico, and then
For 5 years, I traveled back and forth, and actually my siblings was like a pressure too because we were like so anxious about the situation with my dad, and was a lot of fighting and misunderstanding and things. It was hard.
Yeah.
So I suffered a lot for all those years.
yeah, and my family added to it too, because at the same time that we had to put her dad in a home, my son or my brother gets diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. So he's in stage 4, and he's dying too at the same time, and and she's got to go back and forth. And then luckily my brother was living with my parents that were in Florida, only a few hours away. But man, just all of that all at the same time was insane. It really was insane.
Yeah, and it's so that we've had over the last 5 or 6 years, and don't throw in the mix a little what did they call that? COVID?
Yeah.
That whole little window
Oh,
of time
yeah.
where we,
That's another issue for me because I don't want to, but I couldn't go to Puerto Rico without having the vaccine.
yes.
They forced us to take the shot.
I couldn't fly over there to see my dad because they didn't let you. So that was a lot of pressure too.
Sure.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and making decisions on that for
Right.
sure. And hey, I think there's a level of pressure that's good. We talked about in the prior episode that you've got to use that pressure to find the good in something or to get stronger or to become more resilient. And so you mentioned even in networking or giving of yourself, you had to pull back and draw a line. You talked about last time that there has to be a line at exhaustion or a line at you have to draw that
Boundaries, yeah.
personal boundary. Did you have any of those? You mentioned your siblings, you mentioned and talk about that. How did you
Well, at some point I had to look for help because I was so stressed and worried about every single thing that I was getting lost. So I was very anxious. He was very supportive, but at the same time, I don't know how to explain it, but I was applying pressure to him.
Subconsciously,
Yeah, so
inadvertently, but and I was working so hard too back then too, and then I'm not the best communicator in the world. So she was on a deserted island there for a little while,
So, and I didn't understand that I needed help too. Because I want to save everybody, and that wasn't possible for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I look for help, and thank God that has been a great help for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's flip the script a little bit and let's talk about something that I think all of us in the room like talking about. It's me. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I thought you were gonna bring up pizza or something. Fitness pizza in my mouth.
So there's always something we can do better,
Mm.
right? What would you say of the two most resilient gentlemen that you know in the room? What would you say we could do better? Wanda's already buttoned the lips.
He just said it. Communication.
Yeah. And
I-
you let the guy with poor communication get behind a microphone.
Unbelievable.
So explain that. I mean, he's said it before. He's admitted
Yeah.
that he can be a poor communicator, but what does that look like?
Well, sometimes I don't know why, but sometimes it's hard for him to have a conversation that he doesn't like to, or he's afraid of, or I mean, I can't. If I have something that I'm worried about, and I say, "Hey, this is how I feel," he's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. You'll be fine." No, I want more. Just talk more
Engagement.
with
Yeah.
me.
Right.
I need.
Yeah.
He works so hard. He's always working. Always. So if I go to work, I come back, he's gonna cook it.
Yeah.
If he sit next to me in the couch, he's in the phone doing work. So sometimes I would like him to drop the phone and just have a conversation with me.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And does it always have to be like heavy stuff? Or
No.
are you saying he's busy?
He's busy.
He's busy.
And I mean, he wants the best for us, and that's in his mind. This is what I need to do, and sometimes he forgot that I'm there too. So it's just. But we love each other a lot.
Of
thank
course.
God. That's why we have
Yeah.
been 18 years.
Now, don't jump to conclusions. I'm way better than I used to.
Oh yeah, he definitely is. But I changed too, because like I say, I was like applying pressure to him, and now I'm like a little bit more. I watch him. I'm like, oh, he's on his phone. Okay, let me wait at least. Let me give him an hour to see what happened. And
Oh
then,
yeah, at the last gig in Florida, I mean, she knew it. It took time to decompress.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like we wouldn't say words for at least an hour when I got home.
Wow.
And there was probably 2 or 3 drinks involved in that time too before conversation started.
Yeah, but he's much better now.
Yeah.
Much better. Thank God.
What do you think?
I think, in part it has to do with communication. I think just more trying to understand the range of emotions, the range of the emotions that I feel or go through during a day, because I think like if something's off with me, then I'm just in a bad mood. Oh, you're in a bad mood. You're mad at me, and I think like you tend to take things very personally. So if I'm off, it's he must have done something wrong. So then he kind of beats himself up and we kind of get into it a
Yeah.
little bit. But I think there's such a range of emotions that, men have emotions too, but I think
Mhm.
They
women
do.
feel different.
Yeah.
We have
We like to talk.
a
We
list
like to,
of ones that we
yeah.
can probably go through,
Yeah.
but it's like, we have a 16-year-old, and a lot of times I take on whatever she's got going on during the day or whatever
Yeah.
her emotions
Yeah.
are, and it affects me. I think
Mhm.
not a lot more than it affects him, but just in different ways.
Yeah.
He's very analytical,
Yep.
and men tend to be like fixers. Like, I want to
Right,
fix
yeah.
it. I want, I'm going to tell her she should do this and this and this to feel better. But that's not always welcome
Yeah.
from a 16-year-old.
And we're
Yeah.
supposed to be stoic.
Yeah, that's
right? We're supposed to be able to
so I
handle
think
it.
that
Mhm.
sometimes it can be hard for him
Yeah.
too, because he wants, we both want her to be happy, and
Right.
so we have
There's
her
a lot of
stuff, we have
emotions with
our
a
stuff.
16-year-old.
There are,
Oh, I'm
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it's a
You don't
girl,
remember?
It's been so long since I've
especially.
been noticed. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
still
So-
have pressure from. Actually, that's another pressure. The kids.
from the kids, yeah.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think, and I've heard people say like that doesn't change just because
Mm-mm.
they,
No.
go into their adult
It's definitely
years.
way better that
It's
they're getting
better,
older.
yeah, but
way
it's
better.
a different kind of
Yeah.
pressure that
Yeah.
they're becoming adults and they're making their own choices, and you want them to make the best choices and be
Yeah.
happy, and you can't make their decisions for
Nope.
them. So
Family too. I mean.
yeah.
His parents, they still
Oh, yeah.
alive.
Well, that's the thing that I've heard them say now, and I don't know if it's a new term or not, but we are in the sandwich generation.
Oh.
So that means that we have children that are becoming sort of adults, but that we're still taking care of. And now we're sort of shifting into taking care of our parents in a way. And so that's a lot to take care of.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot
It's a lot.
to take on. So
Yeah, it's been on our mind too. I mean, our
Yeah.
part of our long-term plan is kind of like how you guys have set up. You know, have
Mhm.
couple houses on one piece of property
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
aging parents.
Mhm.
You know, to have that kind of support system.
Mhm.
So that's crazy. Now, what about intimacy and affection? Right? Right? She always points that out when I say
Explain
that.
through your words what you mean.
I'm asking, is that important?
Oh, yeah,
Of course it's
1000%.
important. Yeah.
It is
Yeah, that's one of the most important things.
Well, this is the thing. We always say, I love you every single night.
Yeah.
Every single night.
Oh,
right?
multiple times a
Like
day.
Oh, yeah.
multiple
Yeah.
times during.
Yeah.
Maybe I fall asleep and suddenly I wake up and I'm like, babe, I love you.
Oh.
And he's like, I love you too. So that's
Oh.
sweet. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
do you feel like, because I've sensed this a few times, I'm not saying that Sabrina doesn't mean it when she says it, but is there a level of routine though? Like that sounds sweet when you're like, oh, I fell asleep. Oh, I love you. Like
No,
that's
no, no.
sweet. But then
It's
is there like that? All right, love you. Talk to you later. Bye."
Sure.
And it's
There's-
true,
Yeah.
but is it like from the emotional spot, or is it just something? Is it just a sign off?
For me, it's emotion.
Yeah.
I feel it, I say it. If I don't feel it, I won't say it.
Okay, well that's good.
You know?
That's true.
And I think for me, we do say it very routinely and often, but I
Right.
still will say when he's leaving for work, like, be careful.
Yes.
Yep.
Like
Mhm.
Yeah, we do the same thing.
Text me
it's-
when you
text
get
me when you
there.
get yeah, like that kind of stuff. He still texts me
Yeah.
I think every night when he's on his way home, and just that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that's
Not much people have that though.
No, yeah.
Mm-mm. So we are special.
Oh, I can give you a night and day difference between marriage number 1 and marriage number 2.
Yeah.
Zero
Yeah.
communication, zero affection,
Yeah.
Mhm.
zero comfort back and forth with love yous and hugs.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I learned so much from her and her family just from being around them, and really try to inject that into our lives a little bit
Mhm.
better, showing how we could do better.
Mm.
Like when she met me, I mean, did anybody in my family hug?
No.
No.
Did any of us tell each other that we love each
No,
other on a
no,
regular basis?
no.
And now it's
I
imperative.
Start, yeah.
We do it every single time. Every time I
Right.
talk to my kids, I love you. Every time I
Mhm.
see them, I hug them, and my parents and everything too. So
Yeah.
thanks,
That's
babe.
great.
You're welcome.
That's great.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of growth in that.
It
you
is.
know? I
Yeah.
think there is something to be said for that. I'm not trying to diminish the value of saying it
Sure.
in any way.
Mhm.
And you asked a question about intimacy, and I think there's obviously you want love involved
Mhm.
for that to happen. You both talked about communication.
Mhm.
We just had a conversation with our 16-year-old about introducing her to the book, The 5 Love Languages. Are
Mm.
you all familiar with that book?
I mean, vaguely know what the 5 love languages are, but I don't know the book.
Okay. Well, so nonetheless, it's physical touch,
Mhm.
words of affirmation, acts of service, gift giving or receiving, and there's one more. Time?
Oh, quality time.
Quality time.
Oh, it's
Quality
not
time.
sarcasm?
No,
No, my
that's
Oh, you didn't
not
write
one
the
of them.
book.
I did not
Sorry.
write the book.
Oh,
That's number
that
6.
would be number 6.
Yes. So, and we found that our 16-year-old has her love language is primarily quality time.
Okay.
Well,
She
there you
doesn't
go.
have a quality time issue with her parents.
No.
She doesn't care for showing her love
Well, she's 16.
through.
She's
yeah,
16.
she's 16. So
Yeah.
there is a
Wow.
balance there. But
Yeah.
in that, one of mine is gift giving and physical touch. Yours is words of affirmation and acts of service. I don't know if you guys have ever defined yours.
I probably have to ask her, babe, what's my love language?
Bourbon.
But the really
Old
interesting
fashions
thing
and-
about when you do go through that book is that each person has their love language, which is the way that they show love, but that's not the way that another person may
Yeah.
accept it.
Yeah.
Correct.
So that's where there's a lot of
conflict,
communication
yeah.
conflict.
Yeah.
that comes into marriages, because I may be doing all the things for him that I would feel like, oh my gosh, if someone did this for
Yep.
me, I would love it so much and I'd feel so loved, but he doesn't feel loved that way.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
true.
filling his cup.
It's kind of like taking a disc assessment,
Yeah.
but
Sure.
for
Sure.
Yeah.
more on a
So
personal,
you,
emotional
in
level.
a marriage,
Yeah.
you have to actively find out what the other person's love
Yeah.
language is and
Love
show
language.
them that way
Yeah.
so that they feel loved. And that's really hard because
But there's also a balance on the other side of it where understanding your partner's love language in that when you are like doing an act of service or saying how great I am at something or do words of affirmation, that's you actually showing love.
Right.
And I've got to be willing to accept that because that
Be
was
aware of it.
that was a big deal.
Yeah.
And so
Awareness is key to
Yeah.
a lot of it.
well, and so much of it circles back to that word you're not a fan of communication, but it's defining for each other like, hey, this is how I feel loved.
Yes.
This is how I'm probably geared towards showing love. And when I do this or that, it's me showing you love. But also there is the side where if my love tank, what we call love tank, is not being filled, there is this feeling of lack or frustration.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna have some
Yeah.
something missing.
Yeah,
And it's like,
because I
so
can't
why would I
just
fill
accept.
yours
And
if
then
you're
you
not
gotta-
filling
Exactly.
mine?
Yeah.
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 You got to fill that void
Hey,
somewhere.
so
Yep.
it's a
Bourbon.
50-50.
It is
I mean-
50, yeah. It is 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Well, I think that's actually the better term.
Yeah.
What?
A lot of times people say it's 50-50 in a marriage. I think it's 100-100.
So I've heard an interesting perspective.
Don't say the 11 thing.
No. I've heard an interesting perspective where if you go into a marriage thinking that you're always going to be each giving 100 or you're each going to be giving 50, it depending on what's going on in your life and your stress level and your pressures and everything, you should say, hey, I'm doing really well right now and I'm operating at like a 70. So I'm going to meet you at your 30 and we're going to come
Yes.
together because right now I'm, thriving and feeling better, but you,
Yeah, a little bit more to
you
give.
meet the lack of the other person where they're struggling to,
So I
Spot on.
see
You know?
what you're saying. But I don't ever want the idea that you would diminish to a 30 if someone's performing at a 70.
no, it doesn't necessarily mean diminishing. I'm kind of explaining it wrong,
And
but
I don't mean to.
Maybe she got some extra pressure going on and
Right.
she just can't give the 100
so
or
like
50
instead of you
right
being
now.
50% right now, I need you to be like a 70
Right.
because I'm only operating at a 30. But
Okay,
when
so
I,
that
Yeah.
communication
you know what I mean? So
is
you
good.
kind
So,
of
all right, so that I
Yeah.
see
I think
better.
it's spot on because
Yeah.
life is a journey. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
ups
you're
and
not
downs
always
and
at
sideways.
your 100%.
Yep.
That's too much pressure
Yeah.
to put on one person at a time.
Oh, yeah.
It's not reality.
So when do you feel like, or is it easy to tell when Douglas is feeling at 100%? Like, is he an open book about that or no?
He's not. He's
Oh,
not an open
What are you
book.
talking about? I'm always 100%. No, just
But,
kidding.
but I know when he's pretty happy
Mhm.
and when he's excited, so I go and compliment him. Like we work together with that. But I mean, for me, I'm always kind of giggly and happy and all this, but he's more like calm and
Okay.
But I grab him sometimes, not all the time, and he reacts pretty good. So that's the thing. I know him pretty well.
Sure.
She knows me extremely well.
Yeah.
Her emotional intelligence is way beyond mine. But she has natural feelings from herself too. I mean, just the ability to be able to feel people in
Oh
general.
yeah.
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 You know? Like
That's
she'd be able to
another
tell you
thing.
right now if there was a ghost in this room.
Yeah. There's none.
And then
Okay.
whether it's okay to see.
I should have had her walk the halls. This is an old building.
Yeah.
I know.
But so in that, when he's not in a happy place, which we learned early on in this podcast that his ultimate goal is to be and feel happy.
Mhm.
How do you respond when he's down?
Um, Normally, I let him have his time, his
Okay.
space. I don't. I used to jump and hey, babe, what's going on? Now I'm just like more, calmer, and I just let him. And then when he wants to talk, I ask him, hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
There is something that I can help you, and he said no. I just, and then
Okay.
he comes to me, and
Good.
then he said, hey, babe, this is what happened. This is, and I'm like, oh, I knew it. You know, I knew that you were feeling kind of weird, but that's what it is. I
That's
just let
great.
him have his space. I don't like to jump on him like
Yeah,
I
I get
used to.
pretty quiet when I'm working through some
Yeah.
things mentally.
Okay.
But that's what I said I changed too because I'm more like quiet now and I observe him more and I let him do his thing.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
when he's ready, he comes and we just have a blast.
That's great.
You know?
Nice. So
That,
Go
it's
ahead.
so easy.
Now, in that same regard, do you find that I'm easy to, I don't want to say fix, but like if I'm out of
Sorts.
sorts, how do you respond to that? I probably know the answer. But
Yeah.
We don't.
We don't
yeah,
know.
right.
Yeah.
All 4 people that are watching.
Well, no, just kidding.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't know. I guess it kind of depends. Like if you're more like stressed, it's more like listening to you and letting you kind of talk through your day or whatever happened. When you get overly stressed, you tend to get like some anger. So that's
Ooh.
kind of
That's why we get along.
Yeah. So then I tread carefully. Trying not to add more pressure, that kind of thing. But I mean,
Does
getting
he
him
come back to you? And
yes, he does. If it's I would say, intimacy is a very important thing with him. So but that's his love language. That's how he feels the most connected. Um, and so in the beginning of our relationship, I really didn't understand that aspect.
yeah.
It was really hard for me because, it was like, well, what about like talking and having a long conversation because that's how I tend to feel
Yep.
more connected. But there's a give and take in that.
Yep.
So, when one person gives, they get more of what they're looking for in return. So, again, it's a balance and it's a
Yeah.
give
I
and
agree.
take.
Is he a talker or not?
He can be. I think it just kind of depends on what
The pressure.
the
of the
the
day?
pressure. Like I do like when he, after a long day, if I do think something's bothering him or he's stressed, that he,
We're good.
kind of talks through his day. I hope that's helpful to him.
Wanda probably wishes I talked through my day.
He doesn't.
No.
No.
Yeah.
I have to
Well,
ask him.
There are several things in that I feel like I try to take off your concern, if you will. Like, I don't want to add stress
Yeah.
to
And
you
I
by.
think that's a misconception sometimes because, instead of kind of masking, because with you, when something's going on with me, you think, oh, she's just in a bad mood, she's just angry. But like, asking about it or talking through it, it's like, oh, well, something happened in his day that made him, sort of be acting like he's
Yep.
acting or being quiet or whatever. That's helpful.
For you
for
to
me to
understand
understand what's going on.
Not only for
Mhm.
you, for me too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if something happened and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because we get in our heads and we're like, oh
Yeah,
gosh,
what's
she's,
going on?
he must be mad
Worst
at me
case
or
scenario.
something bad's going
Yeah.
on. Or we spiral into these worst case scenarios and that's not healthy for us either.
So, as we come to a conclusion, we do this typically in just about every session, is we apply this to the folks at home, right? And we've always targeted the guy or the fella who's saying, all right, I want that, or I agree with you in that, or whatever. So there's the couple at home who's potentially listening to this and or individually listening to this, and they go, wow, they were so cute and they were so funny and they just love each other. And I haven't said I love you. Well,
from anybody that we, everybody has their struggles, and it's not always like easy.
Well, I'm not suggesting that. I'm saying there may be somebody who heard you say, I say I love you every chance I get because I mean it. And they maybe haven't heard I love you, or they haven't said I love you in a long time.
Yes.
Those little things go a long way.
Sure.
They
And
really
so
do.
where I'm headed with this is my encouragement to that couple. Your encouragement to that couple is what?
Say I love you.
It's a good place to start.
No, I
if
mean,
it's true.
This is the thing. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
When you love someone that really comes from your heart, you have to tell them that, and it's everything. It's respect, to show affection or love or whatever. And we need that too, because look at all what is happening around this freaking world.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you have to talk. You have to say how you feel. Also, you never know when that person is not going to be around. That's something that I have in my mind all the time. And I say I love you to my sister, to my brother, to his mom, to his kids, because I lived that bad experience with my family. I lost my mom. Recently, I lost my dad. And that's something that I hope that they always, wherever they are, they will know that I love them with all my heart. So that's my thing.
That's true.
I think, advice that I would give is if you need something and you feel like something is lacking and you want to talk to your spouse about it, kind of avoid coming at it in a combative way, using words like you never do this, I never feel, we never. So I think a healthy way to come to each other would be to say, hey, what could I do that would help support you wherever you are in your life right now? What could I be doing differently? Because I think when you offer it to someone first, they're much more open to say, well, these are some of the things that would help me, feel more loved or feel like we have a little bit more communication or I'm more supported. So just the language that you use, I think is helpful, can be helpful in those kinds of conversations.
And be softer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're hard. I mean, we're hard.
Yes.
What could I do better, babe?
I told you.
She's like, you weren't listening. I was communicating with you.
Talk more.
No,
And
I'm just
actually,
kidding.
what he said is right on the spot. Sometimes he's so tough, and I said, dude, hello, I'm not like you. I'm not built like you, so have that
Chill.
person
Thank
in
God.
mind. So
Yeah.
he thinks that I can lift, heavy stuff. No, I can't. I need your help. So that's, it's just like a balance
Need each
in
other.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, so we have been at this for several weeks. And this is going to be the hardest question you have to answer. Okay? Have you listened to every one of these podcasts?
No.
No, the better question is
What?
no, the better question is have you listened to any of them?
Yes, I have. The ones that he's turned on in the car while we're driving.
All
I'm just
right.
teasing.
Well, so
Yes, I
our
have
biggest
listened
fans.
to. I have listened to some
Obviously,
of
we are
them.
going to listen to this one.
Sure, yeah. On repeat.
That way they can have pure non-judgmental zone. Yeah,
No,
honey,
but
it's
so
great.
funny.
I love what you guys doing. It's pretty cool.
You know, one of the things that we have heard, and it's likely because of Douglas's pretty face, is that there are actually a lot of women in the community that are watching the podcast and hearing our perspective. And it's not because we're some brilliant, orators that are,
Genius.
talking through relationship advice and all that stuff. We're just living life, right? And it's a different perspective than sometimes and if Douglas isn't a good communicator, or I'm not a good communicator at home, and all of a sudden we're talking on a podcast,
Right.
Yeah.
we might be saying something similar to what's going on in the heads
Right.
of the husbands or the
Mhm.
men in these
Yes.
people's lives.
Mhm.
And so we've been blessed to hear good critique and compliments about the show. And
Good.
Mhm. That's
They
good.
just feel
From-
sorry for us.
Oh.
They're like, their egos can't take a dip. Just
but
kidding.
we appreciate y'all coming on.
Yeah.
Thank you
As
for
much
inviting
as you
I couldn't wait to
didn't
have you
want
guys
to,
on.
and you were nervous about being on.
Yeah, look how great she was.
This is fantastic. I'm thinking
Aw,
about
thank
replacing
you.
my co-host.
I mean, she would definitely drive up ratings 100%.
But we love you, and
Aw,
we're
love
very
you too.
appreciative of you, and you do make us who we are,
Aw.
And beyond.
and far beyond. You
Thanks.
carry us through a lot of things that, whether we say it out loud or not,
Mhm.
that we couldn't handle without you.
No way.
Aw.
And so
Thank you.
we appreciate that
That
very
woman
much.
over there is my drive for everything.
Aw.
She says I'm her rock, but she's my rock.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
You too.
Well,
Can't
thank y'all for
wait
hanging
to
out
get
with
old.
us, and tune in. I always ask, if you will, share this out, subscribe to the podcast. You can subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that they stream. Obviously, we'll have 2 listens this week from our wives finally.
And we need
but
some more mailbag goodies. Keep those coming. Those are always fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank y'all. And we also thank Spread the Positive,
Yeah.
the podcast studio that we're being aired from.
Cool little spot, right?
Yeah, it is. I like it.
They got the brick background this week.
Next time we're gonna sit on the couch together.
Oh,
Is
it might
big
lift
enough
up.
for the 2 of us? It's gonna.
It might lift up like this. I better put on some more weight.
If you want to find out how you can get involved in the Resilient Gentleman or support it, we do lunches on Fridays on the square.
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock.
Jefferson's again.
Jefferson's. But also through Spread the Positive, you
Yeah.
can get involved in the 1200 Club. It's a great opportunity. I believe it's still $100 a
Yep.
month. Allows you some podcast studio time and allows you an opportunity to do short form reels or TikToks. And depending on your business, you may be wanting to get into social media. So it's a great opportunity to film some professional content.
Yep.
And or see if you want to do a podcast like the 2 of us.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Thank you, everybody. See ya.
Love you guys.
Thank you for listening to the Resilient Gentleman podcast. Be sure to like, share, follow, subscribe, and of course, please leave us a 5-star review. We will see you on the next one.